Welcome to A Talk with Armani.
I am your host, Armani Aman.
This is the show that takes you behind the scenes and in front of the screen of all different types of productions. Whether it's a feature film, a brand new TV show, or writing a book, I introduce you to those powerhouses that make those productions work. Make sure you stay tuned as I bring to you my first guest.
Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. I am joined by the very beautiful and talented Miss Ashley Mills. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Glad
course.
to be here.
You look so nice. Everything is just
you.
well put together.
Thank you.
From your shoes to your
it.
shirt. You're like, wait a minute, I am coordinated.
Thank you.
So, too close to home, Tyler Perry. You have the very unique distinction of being, especially for it to be a Tyler Perry movie, the only person of color during the first season.
Yes, which I guess is very surprising to people considering Tyler's audience.
Yes.
But the show was actually TLC's first ever scripted drama, and you know TLC is mostly known for doing reality shows and things like that. And I think that they were looking for something different that was going to appeal to their audience, but something that was going to be original, something that was going to be creative and a drama. So they went to Tyler and said, "Hey, can you make us a show?" And so I think the show really targets that audience that already watches certain things on TLC. And so I play Valerie on Too Close to Home. I play the best friend of the lead character, Anna, who we all work at the White House, and there's this big scandal that she's involved in with potentially having an affair with the president. And I kind of fall into the mix of that because I'm her best friend. So it looks like I may have known about this affair when I didn't. So when the whole thing gets exposed, she drags me down in the mud with her.
Oh, wow. Of course.
Yeah.
Wow. How exciting is that to have not only to be the only person of color at the time on the show, but to also be working with Tyler Perry and so many wonderful actors.
Yeah. You know what? The show came out a year ago, literally just a couple of days ago, and it's still all very surreal to me. You know, being an actress and pursuing this is a dream. It literally is a dream come true. And I can remember 6-7 years ago watching Tyler's plays and just always being a fan of him, always having the desire to work with him and speaking into existence that maybe one day I would work with him, but seeing all of it come into fruition and having the opportunity to work with him on set and talking to him and working with all these great LA actors, because the majority of the cast was cast out of LA, and then myself and then 2 other people were the only ones that were cast from Atlanta. So that in itself speaks volumes. So the whole thing has just been very surreal, and I'm so blessed to even be able to say that, because there are so many people, and I'm sure you know about Atlanta growing as a big film market. So many people are wanting that one opportunity that's going to get them to the next level, and to be able to say that I am living in that is, I can't even put that into words.
I know, like you said, it's an humbling experience, but like you said, it's surreal, because when you look back at what point A was and now I'm here, it's like, wow.
It's crazy, yeah. Time has just flown by, and to even be working with Tyler is amazing, because he's so creative, and you've seen, he's come from having these plays to building literally an empire and basically running the Atlanta film market. So it's pretty amazing, and I've learned so much from working with him on set. His mind is always going, and he's always 3 steps ahead of everybody else, which I really appreciate from him. And something that I got from him on my first day of set, he was directing a lot of the other actors, and I wasn't getting a lot of direction from him, so I stopped him at the end of the day, and I just said, "Hey, how am I doing? What do you think?" And he said, "I saw your audition tape, and I knew that you were Valerie the moment that I saw it."
Wow.
So for him to even say that is just humbling, and to have that kind of compliment from somebody who's worked with so many amazing actors over the years, A-list actors over the years, to see something in me that he said, "I like her. We don't even need to have callbacks for Valerie." And that's what happened. I came in, and I was the only person that came in for a screen test for Valerie, when I saw other characters, 10 different actresses were reading for the same role. So
but he knew that was your role.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
that is amazing. Wow. We have to go to break, but we'll be right back, and we'll talk more with Miss Ashley Mills. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani, and we are talking to the beautifully talented Ashley Mills. So like you said before the break, Tyler basically said, this role is for you. You are Valerie. You are doing good. Maybe I'm not giving you a direction because you already know what you're doing. You stepped into your shoes. Your first day on set and you show up. Describe that feeling.
Man, excitement. I had a lot of butterflies in my stomach. I was anxious, nervous, just a little bit of everything, like wondering, okay, so I'm here. I got the job. I'm out of the audition room. Can I do this?
Right.
But it's like, if you've been put in this position, of course you can do this.
I've got to bring it.
Yeah, I got to bring it. And you know what? Once things got started, Tyler, we shoot really fast on set because we're on such a short timeline. And when we first started the show, I didn't really have a lot of time to think. You just really had to kind of go for it. And once we started filming, I was really relaxed and I fell right into my lane, and I thought to myself, wow, I've been waiting my whole life to feel this way and to feel this comfortable, and I needed to even prove to myself, could I do this? And I'm on set, here I am working with all these great actors, and Tyler, yeah, I can do this.
Yes, I can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I believe we have a clip from your show, Too Close to Home, and we're going to show it right now. Take a look.
It's the president. What's the president? He's the guy. This is the type of stuff that ruins people's lives. I need you. No, you don't.
Wow. So, I mean, like you said, that's your role. You believe that that's you. This is what you're saying. And it's such a convincing, you're such a convincing actress. So, congratulations so much on this. But before we let you go, your journey here. How was that? How was the journey to this point? To the point where you're instantly recognizable, you have the distinctions that you have. You're on this, and for TLC to have a scripted show and to renew it, because like you said, they're used to just doing the realities. They're reality all the way down, but now we're getting into scripted. And not only do we like this show, but the audience obviously likes it. To start where you started at, what's your journey like?
Man, you know what? A lot of hard work, a lot of hustle.
Okay.
Thinking about it over the last couple of years when I first moved here from North Carolina.
Okay.
I was living in North Carolina, and I came here, thinking I needed to kind of start over. I used to be Miss North Carolina, and when I gave up my crown, I'm gonna be honest, I was broke. So my mom lives here, so I moved in with her. Okay. And was looking for an agent and looking for new representation.
But you knew you wanted to act.
Oh yeah, I've always known that. And I've always done it off and on my whole life. But my parents, they wanted me to do the 9 to 5, go to college, which I did. And eventually, I just realized it really wasn't for me, and I was doing what was making them happy and not myself. Okay. So I started focusing more on modeling and on acting and really honing in on my craft. And eventually, I just started to find coaches, and then from there, it was a little bit of networking, getting to know people. And a friend of mine who was in an acting class that I was in said, "Hey, do you have an agent?" And I told him no, and he said, "Well, come to this party with me. I'll introduce you to mine." And that's when I got offered my first acting contract here in Atlanta. And then from there, it was, a little commercial here, a little commercial here, a little day player role on different shows. I've been on the Vampire Diaries, Nashville, and I did an indie film last year. So it was little things that kind of built up to this moment. And right before I actually got the role of Valerie, I was thinking about taking a break.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not that I didn't think that I could do it, but I believe everything is about timing. And at the time, my dad was sick. And unfortunately, he passed away 3 days before I actually booked the show. Oh. So everything, my story, I think, is amazing in so many ways, because my dad lived long enough to see me grab this dream, but he wasn't there to see it in fulfillment when the show actually aired. But that's the way Hollywood kind of works, right? When you're about to maybe quit or take a break, or you're doubting yourself, that's when something might be on the other side of those fears and that doubt. So you got to keep going.
Absolutely. It's not necessarily in your timing, but when the time is right, it will happen. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, we want to follow you. We want to be your fans and your viewers. Tell us, how can we reach out to you in social media?
You can find me on Instagram, which is what I use the most, at Ashley Love Mills, or on Twitter, same thing, Snapchat, same thing, Facebook, same thing. Ashley Love Mills.
Alrighty, once again, thank you. And Too Close to Home comes on TLC. What day of the week?
Well, we're off season right now, but you can find it on TLC.com.
Okay.
And every now and again they play reruns and things like that, and on OWN too, because Discovery owns TLC. And
Okay, wow, and maybe on demand.
yes, on demand, of course.
On demand. There you go. We demand to see it. All right, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Bentley Atlanta, the nation's largest Bentley-only dealership, presents Riding with Armani, featuring Cannon
It's been
Kent.
like ages. So what's been going on with Cannon? What's happening?
Well, you know, I've been working with Atlantic Records for 10 years. Before that, I was with Radio 1.
Okay.
Music has changed so much because you almost had to be with a label to really get exposure.
Yes.
But right now with social media, girl, you don't need any of that,
Right,
really. You can really brand yourself and create a following through the internet.
And people don't realize it. Like, I just learned how important social media was.
Right.
Because I was like, Facebook, I'm not doing it. That's for kids.
Right now, if you have music that people can connect with,
Right.
and you can utilize your social media correctly, you can really break your career at home, you and your people.
Wow.
You know?
That's it. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
yes,
It was
yes,
wonderful
girl.
seeing you.
Thank you.
Mwah.
I was on heroin.
I used crack cocaine.
We are the Addiction Network. And if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you need to call the number on your screen now. Addiction is a disease, and you can't go it alone. The call is free, and so is the consultation. If you have private insurance, your treatment could be covered with no out-of-pocket cost. So call the Addiction Network now.
Call 800-746-2481.
Medical alert for breast cancer patients. If you or someone you love underwent chemotherapy with Taxotere and suffered permanent hair loss, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation. A recent study linked Taxotere to permanent hair loss in breast cancer patients. Call Guardian Legal Network to speak with an experienced lawyer now. If you don't win, you pay nothing. Protect your rights before time runs out.
Call 800-684-8594.
Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. In going through some footage, we found an interview that we did with the fabulously talented Miss Erica Strong, author of the very, very popular Live Strong, Love Strong, Finish Strong book. Take a look. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. I'm sitting here with critically acclaimed and award-winning author Erica Strong. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So your book, which I happen to have a copy of it, we put it something. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. All right, we got it. Erica Strong, Love Strong, Stand Strong, Finish Strong.
Yes.
Let's break down the title of this because you say a lot. That is a whole mouthful. So let's start with the first part, Love Strong.
Love Strong, and the entire title encompasses what it means to have a successful life that you can finish strong.
Okay.
But in anything, you have to love it first. Like love through the pain, love through the hurt, love through the frustration, love through the joy, love through the happiness, love through the growth. And you have to love it strong. So no matter what it is, you have to stand in a space of love, knowing that God has always got you, knowing that you're always protected, knowing that you can never fail.
Absolutely.
So standing in that love of God and that love of yourself and that love of knowing that nothing can really happen to you.
Absolutely. And then we go on to Stand Strong.
Stand strong when you see what it is that you're, like your purpose or your mission is for life, or whatever it is, you have to stand in it with the strength of love. So like you can't waver, you can't decide that life is too hard so I'm going to give up, or my marriage is too hard and I'm going to give up. Whatever it is, you got to stand in it, knowing that that love is what is the centerpiece of it, and then you standing in it, and everything is standing strong.
Okay, and then we end with the
finishing strong.
Yes.
So like if you do those three things, you can't do nothing but win. And all of it is strong. If you can see that running theme is strong.
Well, you have to put your all into it. You know, I remember back in the day when they say, well, you know, I'm coming 50-50. Yeah. Well, if you're 50-50, then you halfway lost already. Exactly. You're already counting yourself out. Exactly. You got to do 100, regardless of whatever it is you do. Yeah. No matter what it is. Yeah. You know, whether it is acting, whether it is in your love life, whether or not it's being a mother. Yeah. You can't just say,
I'm giving this amount of myself. You have to put 100% in it. And that's how, you know, you're able to build a strong foundation.
Absolutely. What made me write the book is I endured 2 devastating divorces.
Okay.
Not 1, but 2.
2.
And 2 publicly devastating divorces. And in those, I found a space of forgiveness.
Okay.
So I call myself the forgiveness expert.
Okay.
So in learning how to forgive, I learned that forgiveness was the key to opening up my life, where I wasn't stagnated, my life didn't stop, I wasn't locked in with resentment, unforgiveness, hatred, you know, malice, just all of that stuff that holds us in. And then in understanding forgiveness, I knew that I had to love myself, love the person, forgive the person, stand in it, and then watch myself and my life grow and finish strong.
Because you have to, and I learned this, and we all learn this as we go, as we grow, that in order to forgive someone, there has to be love there. You know, it's so easy to just walk away. But when you walk away and you just say, well, you know what, I'm not dealing with it anymore, you haven't really forgiven them. And it just continues to come about, and it comes about, and it can actually become an internal, you know, it's like a cancer that only affects you. So you have to have that love there. And not, strangely enough, it doesn't necessarily have to be for that person.
It's not
it's
that person.
Just basically that, you know, the love is inside of me.
Absolutely.
So that I can forgive.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I teach in my workshops. When I say forgive, that doesn't mean that me and that person have to be buddies again.
Yeah, we don't
it
know.
just means that I'm doing this for myself, to clear the air, clear the space for myself. Because when we decide not to forgive, we really change the, I would say, the internal makeup of our insides. Like, my body isn't functioning on that harmonious flow that it's supposed to function on. When I'm not forgiving, I'm like angry every time I hear the person's voice, angry every time I think about what they did, and I become my own abuser by regurgitating what they did, what they said, how they did it, And so while I am drinking poison and waiting for them to die,
it's like Groundhog Day. All of you just keep reliving the same pain, same anger every time you see this person, and it's not helping. And they, you know, the craziest part, and my grandmother, she was a minister, and she would say some of the things that we cast for other people, they don't even realize that we cast against them. You sitting there pointing your finger, and this person did this, and all the rest of them is pointing at you, and they going on about their business without a care in the world. They don't even know that you're angry or that you wishing fire and brimstone upon their head. They have no idea. Because you took up the onus of saying, I'm just going to hate this person for the rest of my life. And they're just running around happy.
And that becomes that chain that you have put on your leg that has a big ball that's so heavy that you can't move or grow or do anything in your life. So when you decide to forgive, you understand that it's forgiveness for yourself.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Are you being audited, and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
I'm gonna tell you something, and it's along the lines of what you said. you know, as we grow up, our parents, they do all kinds of different things. And some of them we understand and some of them that we don't. And me and my mom went through an incident where I totally did not understand it. And it just kind of rocked me a little bit because I was just like, well, miss, you know, you did this. And my therapist at the time said, go and talk to her because obviously this bothered you. This hurt you, and this is something that is continuously on. Like, you're carrying this burden. You have it on your back. This is your cross, you know, and before it becomes your albatross, you need to go and talk to her. And when I did, she was completely oblivious. She had no idea what I was talking about. See? She was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't remember that. And if I did it, then, you know, it probably just happened at the time, and that was it. But for years, like, I actually went and talked to somebody about it. And she had no clue. None. So at that point in time, I'm like, but I know it happened. So now I need to forgive her, even though, you know, she is feigning innocence, you know, in order for me to get past it, because I felt it. Then I just gotta, okay, I have to forgive and then move past it. And it's very real, because sometimes we can have these imaginary burdens, or trials, you know what I mean, and I won't use the word necessarily imaginary, but just they're one-sided.
Your own perception.
The person has no idea what they did that pissed you off, that now you're mad and don't want to talk. No idea.
Like, literally because I am also a marriage and family therapist. And so in my counseling sessions, when I talk to male, female, child, everything, like, a lot of our issues are always stemming from somewhere in our life that we chose not to forgive. Somewhere in our life that we chose to have an offense, like a fence that's blocking you in from life and from production and success. And so when you boil it down to, like, just forgive, even forgiving yourself, you know, like, that's where I had to start in learning how to forgive. I had to forgive myself for some of the decisions that I made that landed me in some of the situations that I was in. So understanding that forgiveness is such a huge key for us in being able to see a productive life, from our health to just like our life outside of us, and then what we teach our children. Because I'm a mother of 3 girls. And so and I don't want them growing up being this bitter, resentful woman that now can't love and laugh and be light and joyful because life has happened. Life is going to always happen. And as life happens, you have to have that bounce back. Like, oh, I forgive you, I'm good. I forgive you, I'm good.
It's like, it's not that I'm a pushover, and it's not that, you know, I'm dumb or I'm naive or don't know what went on. I just don't have the space or the time to spend being mad. You just can't spend that much time with it. You know, just keep it moving. You did that, okay, no problem. And it's not that you got over. Just that I just got too many steps that I need to move forward to just stand here and wait for you to realize what you done.
I remember when I was going through one of those divorces. One of the first divorce, my husband left for an R&B singer. And I had to watch this relationship in public's eye, right? And so I'm watching them attend these award shows and in magazines and da-da-da-da-da. And I remember, like, laying in a ball in my bed just crying in a fetal position, just crying, just like I just could not imagine life like this, because I was regurgitating everything he said, what he did, how he looked in the magazine, how he looked on TV. I regurgitated it all. And it seemed like for like a quick minute, God showed me him laughing and enjoying life. And then he showed me balled up crying. What are you doing?
Are you serious?
Are you serious? He's enjoying his life. He's not even thinking about you.
You don't think, like, he's on the red carpet. You're not like, I wonder what Erica doing. What? So
my life has been stopped, and it wasn't his fault. It was my own.
But like I said, we've all gone through something that has rocked us to the core and kind of laid us down. And as you lay prostrate, you're just trying to figure out, how do I get up? I don't even need to stand. Just let me get to my knees so that I can be able to at least reach out for some type of something to stand up and pull myself together.
And that's how I knew forgiving was that pull. Because
that's
Christ said, forgive them, for they know not what they do, while they were persecuting him. So if forgiveness is the key that you're going to use, that's the staff you use to get up out of there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we want to be able to, now we can get your book where?
ericastrong.com.
Okay, and we can follow you on
all social media outlets, Finishing Strong on Facebook, of course. finishing strong, of course, on Instagram. And anything strong, he'll come back to me.
Okay.
So you find strong.
All right, so you can find the strength and the connect in Erica Strong. Yeah. All you gotta do is go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or you can go to ericastrong.com.
Yes.
And if you can't find it, or if you're trying to figure out how to get to it, you can always go to www.atalkwitharmani.com and click on her link, and it will lead you right to her.